was feeling some numbness in my feet and some gaps in my cognitive ability. Those symptoms steadily progressed very rapidly. By the time I was in the hospital, I couldn't use my entire left side. I couldn't walk. My 6-year-old I was copying sentences from her. She was writing better than I was. There was a carefulness before calling it multiple sclerosis. My concern was obvious. How was that going to affect my livelihood and my ability to care for my family? Would they now have to care for me? Would I be a burden on them instead of a support for them?
When we got to our first appointment at the Cleveland Clinic, I had such an overwhelming feeling of, I can breathe now. This is going to be okay now. All right, I understand how we can move forward now.
The fact that I got an MS diagnosis was sort of a sense of relief because I knew what it was. I knew there were treatment options. I knew there are ways to manage it. The improvement has been dramatic, and it wouldn't have been there without the resources I have and the people that are behind me.
And more is being understood about it, and the more that's understood, we realize the more that isn't understood, and the more of a need there is. This is not just something that might happen to you later on in your elderly years. These are things that are occurring to young people.
My father, he truly lived the American dream. He had a great deal of strength. He was my source also of strength. Then came this disease, and it stole away his warmth, his charm. Prior to that, when he would walk into a room, the room would light up. It stole that, and then it went on and took away his dignity. And finally, there was just that vacant stare in his eyes. What I see now that they're doing at the Lou Ruvo Center, I only wished that we had had that at that time. They take into consideration the caregivers just as much as they do the patients. That caregiver is giving everything that they have, and they're in very difficult situations. The only way that we're going to get to the end of this is to put in lots of money and to give as much as we can, because it's the clinical trials that'll make a difference. The Cleveland Clinic Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health is doing everything it can to make a difference.
We was a circus performer. Then we travel over the United States. We're doing the flying trapeze and the high wire, balancing actor. I worked for 22 years in the show Jubilee.
He don't know what was going on in himself. Changes, panic attacks. Feel like the change of his rhythm of his heart, his brain, and everything, it was not connecting. We don't understand what was going on. Finally, a neurologist doctor, she found out that she had a Parkinson. When we meet Dr. Waltz is very special because make a lot of changes in my husband and in his favor. The Dr. Waltz said that he needs a little bit more amount of medication to get his stiffness more relaxing. That way he can walk better. He really helps him a lot because he's always active. And longer that keeps going, I think he got a long ways to go.
When I go to the Cleveland Clinic, I don't have to be afraid no more. It gives you a lot of confidence. Everybody treating you so nice that you don't feel like you're going to see a doctor, you feel like you're going to see a friend.
A lot of discoveries coming up every day.
To investigate it, to find a cure. And I hope, one day he's going to find it. Maybe we're not going to be around, but somebody's going to do it. And we're getting close.